All right, so I am doing some testing this time around with audio. So I'm playing around with audio. And then I also wanted to share my screen. And so what's happening right now is that this user ran into like a whole bunch of issues and bugs with some Stripe samples. And so I would like to try to work on improving the experience for checkout with one-time payments, and also kind of experiment with audio. So the goal for today is to figure out if this audio level is good. Right now, the music's set at 9%, and also to play around with this Stripe sample to see if I can figure out why Full Metal Masochist had such a tough time. So with checkout one-time payments, like the way that the paths work for Stripe samples is that on the client, we have two directories. On the server, we have all the server languages. And when you work with the sample, if you just git clone it, then the path to the client is going to be like through the client into HTML, into React. But when you install it with the Stripe CLI, the path is different. And so the .env, where we have this static directory set, by default, it's set to client HTML. So if you're using React, I guess you're immediately sort of in a bad spot because we're assuming that you're using HTML. So I'm just going to kind of like start keeping track of a list of issues. Default path for client is set to HTML. So when using React, needs to be set. So that's kind of like the first thing I see that might be tripping folks up. All right, so what I want to do is just pull this down. So Stripe samples create, and then paste it. And this user mentioned that they were working with React and Node. So we want to use the React Create React app version and the Node server. So, okay, so you're all set. Let's CD into checkout one-time payments. And then if we look at the README here, it says, shows you how to integrate Stripe, building the UI form from scratch is difficult, blah, blah, blah. Here's the demo. The demo's running this. If you want to test SCA, use that. Here's a bunch of cards. Here's what it does. Here's how you run it locally, clone and pull, installation steps. Okay, so the very first thing I'm interested in though is like in this .env, what did we set as the client? Okay, we set // client, which is what I expected for the React version, but it looks like it might need to actually be // client/public or something. So what does the README say here? Okay, it says go into client and we need to run npm install, and then we need to run npm start, and it starts the client on localhost 3000, which is a little surprising to me since most of our stuff runs on 4242. While that's installing, cheers. I'm having some cinnamon apple tea. In this cup is like the Deus Ex Machina cup from my favorite San Francisco coffee shop called Machine, which is like it used to be connected to Show Dogs on Mission. The reason why I like Machine, I think it might be closed. More than 7 years, Show Dogs and its cafe have closed for good. This was in 2016, so I left before 2016. That's sad news. It was a great coffee shop. They made their own almond liqueur, and it would make like Irish coffees and Irish mochas, and you could drop in some almond liqueur if you'd like. So I really like that place. They also made their mochas with these little like chocolate medallions that we put at the bottom. So I had some special moments back in the day. It was fun. We had just one job. All right, so that took a long time to install. Sure. All right, then if we run npm start, that starts up the React client, I believe. And it's running localhost 3000. Starting development. It's actually working. Okay, so the page loads. That's cool. So it looks like that's where our page is hanging out. Now, if we go over to the server, npm install, and I think we can do npm start. Oh, it says go to localhost 4242 to see the demo. So this might be what was confusing, because it's not actually there. It's here, right? So it's supposed to be running on localhost 3000. Okay, unhandled promise rejection. The error is originated by throwing inside an async function without a catch block. There's no catch. Unhandled promises are rejections are deprecated in the future. Okay, so no such plan. This is the ticket right here, error, no such plan. And so like the root cause for this error is because of not having a price ID set. And I don't like that. So the whole point here is that you would go into .env and set your price ID, and then like restart the server, npm start. And I'm gonna just take a wild guess and say that it might be Colin that's watching from Twitch. So what's up? How's it going? Can you hear the music? If you can hear the music, let me know. Is it too loud? Is it like super loud? Can you not hear it? Is it too low? I'm playing around. Actually, okay, so like right now it's at 9%. Turn it up to 40%. Does it sound like it's coming from my mic? From the audio? Okay, so that's like really the trick. And now it's like totally working. So yeah, so there's a couple things here. Like we say to go to localhost 42, but really you should go to localhost 3000 if you're running the React. So audio is compliments of the YouTube audio thing. So thanks YouTube for creating that resource. All the creative commons, free stuff, pretty sweet. All right, so yeah, that's confusing. The error in the server log is super hard to like grok. Okay, it looks like we're in like getting a table. It's working great. adjust my mic, and then I'm going to shut this thing down. How do I turn you off? Go back. Okay, you can't hear it, but I can hear. Well, I don't know. I hope you can't hear it, but I hear just like insane static. So let's see. Can I not? How do I turn you off? Okay. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Let's see. Can you hear me now? All right. I am going to open this up on YouTube so I can try to hear it myself. Just for a second. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. Cool. So we're back to normal. So the error in the server log, super hard to grok. What else here? Our instructions for Node in particular, go to 4242 to see the demo. I think we can update this to say, like, if you're using the vanilla HTML demo, then go to 4242. If you're using the React demo, watch on, go to localhost 3000. So let's update that, because yeah, those are both confusing. But also, I think we should just straight up update the instructions here to say, go configure your environment variables. Like, you have to do that. And we don't tell anyone super explicitly. We just say that a requirement is that you've configured your end file. So like, let's go through the steps for how to like actually create a price. So that should be, yeah, okay. So like, we don't say any how to create a price. We don't tell you to set the environment variables. Yeah, I think that might make sense. Cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna update some readmes and stuff, and then yeah, I feel super bad for this user who is basically just like doesn't want to use Stripe. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to make it better. Let's try to make it better. Yeah, so over to checkout one-time payments, and let's pull it down. Okay, and then in the README, so like in the root of this README here, right? For checkout one-time payments, we say clone and configure the sample. The Stripe CLI is a fast way to pull and run the sample locally. You do this. The CLI will walk you through picking your integration type, server languages, and configuring your .env with your Stripe keys. Installing and cloning manually. So if you clone it manually, blah, 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 you'll need a Stripe account in order to run the demo. The other environment variables are configurable. Number 2, create a price. You can create products and prices in your dashboard or with the API. The sample requires a price to run. Once you created the price, add its ID to your environment variable. Price is the ID of your price or product. Okay. So let's also say that like, you can quickly create a price from the Stripe or with the Stripe CLI with the following command. Stripe prices create, and unit amount, $5, currency USD, product name is demo, returns the JSON. Let's actually run it. Invalid name demo. Product name. Prices, product data. So that should be product data. And then the JSON that's returned is this stuff. And take that price ID, price 1H, blah, 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 and set I think the environment variables or the .n files are in YAML. I don't know if GitHub will style this way, but are these YAML? No, these are not YAML. These are just, I guess they're also bash. So you want to set price equal to price 1H something something. That's like what you want to do ultimately. And this is like a really important step. So like if you don't do this step, then it doesn't work. And lots of folks trip up on that, and I totally understand. And it's super frustrating. So, okay, so pick the server language you want and follow the instructions in the server folder README on how to run. For example, if you want to run the node server, do this. Okay. And let's see. So let's add a, if you're running the React client, then the sample will run in the browser at localhost 3000. Otherwise, visit localhost 4242. Okay. So a couple other places that I think we should update, like in the server readmes. So .NET doesn't even have one. Go has one. Let's see, if you're using the HTML client for React, visit localhost 3000. I think we're going to want this on like all the servers. And how to run, install dependencies. So I think also in the server files, like I think we also want to say that like how to run before we even say install dependencies, we should say make sure that your .n file has a price set. Refer to the README here, blank, to figure out how to create a price. So, yeah. Ensure correct .env config. Check your confirm. This sample requires the price ID to be set in the price. Maybe we should just like give the same instructions here, or is that we set to a price on your Stripe account? Okay, this sentence doesn't make sense anymore. The sample requires a price ID to be set. This, yeah. Open.env confirm price is set equal to the ID of a price on your Stripe account, from your Stripe account. Okay. Okay, it should look something like this. Note that price 125 is a placeholder, and the sample I'm almost wondering if we want to use price data here instead of the price ID, just because it's such a pain to get it set up right with the environment variables. Like it's just so many people run into this this frustration, and I wonder if this would make like a big difference or not. Actually, yeah, I should probably. Chances are people are going to read this normally. I like using 0 for Markdown when we're working with GitHub because GitHub will make it like actually create the right numbers in order, and you don't have to like go back and renumber things. But since I believe folks might actually just use the real, they might just use the real README file. I want to make sure that we're numbering these correctly. All right, so let's say that one's good. Let's go to Java. And so, okay, how to run. Let's see, let's make this match. How to run. Grab that. Step 2, step 3, step 4. Actually, yeah, so step 4 becomes these. Okay. Node. Okay. All right. So 2, 3, 4. PHP Slim. How to run. Move that. Add that. 3, 2, and step 1, I believe, should be the same. Yep. Okay. PHP is ever so slightly different. So for PHP, we use for PHP Slim, we use the same environment variable, but for PHP vanilla PHP, we use these config.ini files where we expect sort of the same thing. So confirm that config.ini configuration. this sample requires that there's a, okay, in the price ID set in the price config variable, open config.ini, and it should look something like this. Price, I think ini files have, yeah, they have spaces there. Okay. And then local host is not, it's not local host anymore. We want to do, we want to, yeah, specify, or it's not just 4242. We want to specify that it's going to be 3000 if you're using React. Okay. For Python, Python, we're going to use the same step 1, make that step 2, make this step 3, make this step 4, and then step 5 becomes this thing. All right, and then in Ruby, oops, in Ruby, I believe should be the same step 4. Okay, so, all right, you're just watching me like move stuff around. I'm really hopeful this helps. Okay. I wonder if there's like some sort of GitHub flavored markdown thing we can do to make this like even more obvious, right? Git push origin master. All right, so 1, confirm.env configuration. This sample requires a price ID set in the price environment variable, open price. Okay, note that price 1205 is a placeholder and won't work. Something like that, okay. Install the dependencies, run the application. Okay, so that's, we've updated Node. I hope that's a little bit more clear. And then up here, I almost wonder if we want to make it like a warning sign or something. You know what I mean? Like how to run locally. Like this one should have like a warning sign, like or like a required badge or something. How to add badge. Flavored markdown. Or like an alert or something. Subject, status, generic badge. Maintained? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Clone the sample. Step 2. Subject. See how that looks. Apparently you can just do like maybe. Actually, I think I can just edit this and then preview it so that we can test it out. So down here, Okay, required true. So if we edit this thing and we go down to our new badge, we want to say required true orange, and let's see what happens. Required. Yes, required. It is required. So, okay, this one's optional. I guess we could put this, like, do the same thing with the badge, but make it optional. Okay. I don't know why this orange, I don't know what orange does. All right, I hope that adds some clarity to the sample. And yeah, I totally understand where it's coming from. I really want, what I would love is for when you install with the Stripe CLI, if it would prompt you for all the different environment variables that you need to set and walk you through exactly, maybe either like saying, no, I'm going to set the price on my own, or yes, please create one for me and set that in the environment variables. That way you're sort of walked through the whole process. It's really confusing that you have to like go in and configure this the way that we require that you do. So, yeah, hopefully this addresses some of these, right? So like the default path thing will need to be addressed later. We say to go here, but okay, so I think we've addressed this one. Strike through. The error in the server log is super hard to grok. Yeah, okay, so the other thing that we can do here is we can check if the price, like technically what we could do is at the beginning of every server's like initialization, after we've loaded go.env, we could say like if the environment variable is not set, or if it's set to just price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then like die right here and log out that the environment variable must be set to a real price. And then we could even print out in the log, like, here is the type of, like, here's what you need to log out. Or I'm sorry, like, here's what you need to, here is the Stripe CLI command to create a price. So yeah, so log.fatal in Go, is that what crashes it? So I'm just gonna add that as like an idea, like consider adding a check for all environment variables and kill server with log if not set. This is fixed. Yeah, these are both fixed. So I think the last step here would be to improve this by adding some sort of logging that would like actually kill the server if you haven't set that. And let's see, how would we do this? So once we've loaded go.env, we kind of need to check and see like if the environment is configured correctly, which I guess we could technically add like some helper function at the very bottom that's like, if I don't know, check config or something, where we just say like os.getEnv, and then yeah, I wonder, does log.fatal is that actually going to crash? I think it might actually stop execution, right? It's equivalent to print followed by os.exit. Yeah, okay, cool. So if, how do we want to do this? So we load go.env. And then before we get even any further than that, like right here, I feel like we want to check environment variables and fail with message about, yeah. Okay. So I wonder if we can just like create a function called like check env. Which would be a func down here. And this will say something like os.getEnv for price. And let's see. If price is equal to price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then log.fatal, you must set a price ID from your Stripe account. You can create one with So assuming our .env was not configured correctly, right? Like if we went into go run server, it should die right now because the .env, error loading .env. So if we copy .env.sample to here, to .env, and then we run it, should fail and say you must set a price ID from your Stripe account. See the README for instructions. Okay, cool. So that should be helpful. The other way this might fail is if price is nil, like nil, or if price is equal to the empty string, or if price is, I mean, technically we could try to retrieve the price here, given the price ID. And if it doesn't come back from Stripe, then we could still fail. Yeah, I mean, like technically we could get super hardcore about it. I think this is a good start. This is a non-zero start and should help people. So let's copy in a real.env file, go run server, and make sure that it actually does work. Oh, cool. So what happens if price isn't set then? Oh, there is no price set. Yeah, okay. So does it end up just like matching the empty string? Cool. Yeah, okay. So if I set price equal to that, go run server. Now I have a price ID and it's running a localhost. Localhost 3000 though should be where I'm at. Okay, cool. All right, let's go do node next. Okay, so in server.js, after we have loaded.env, before we even run this thing, we can say check env and execute this. And I feel like we should crash. How to exit 0 in node. Like we just want to like crash in node. Process.exit 0. Yeah. Process.exit will suffice. Okay. So check env. All right, let's go down here. Function check env. This is going to say, now that we've required .env, process.env, so price equal to process.env.price. If price is equal to price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or price, or there's no price, then we want to process exit 0. Before that, we want console.log. You must set a price ID in the environment variables. Please see the README. Node server, npm install node server. Okay, cool. So if Full Metal Masochist had attempted to run this and hadn't had the price ID set, then running node server would have crashed with this like super easy to read thing. And then they would have been like, please see the README. Okay, what is the README? Okay, cat README. And then they would see like, oh, step 1 is to confirm environment variable configuration. It requires a price ID. Open.m and set the price equal to this. So you can create a price from the dashboard or with the Stripe CLI. And then I wonder maybe if it makes sense to just go like this and then add price. I'll link to the API ref prices. All right. Note that the price ID is a placeholder. You can create a price from the dashboard or with the Stripe CLI. All right, so that should definitely like drive home how to do this. I'm realizing that like now I have to go again and update all the READMEs, but that's okay. Node README says this bit, and the Java README say that also, and so can the Slim README. And I guess the PHP README should be able to also say this. Python README should be good. And the Ruby README is here. All right, so where are we at? We've got Node and Go are set up. Let's go into PHP Slim and let's see, Composer require or install, maybe Composer require, something like that. Okay, so how to exit 0 in PHP. Oh, fun. Oh, fun. Exit die 0. Cool. Die 0 sounds like what we want. We do want it to die. Okay. So let's update PHP. After we've loaded .end, we can say, I think here, if we just say like check env, can we go to the bottom and define a function that does that? I think maybe. I don't know if PHP does hoisting. I'm just going to do it like kind of, yeah. Oh, wait, require config. What does that do? Config. Yeah, let's do it in here. Yeah, because this is where we're going to do a bunch of get env stuff anyways. So let's just say the price is get env of price, and we want to say if price is equal to price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or price equal to that, then we want to echo you must set a price ID in the .env file. See the README. And then we say die 0. Now if I say composer start, it should crash. No. Unable to read any of the environment variables. Okay. So null or those things. Does that crash? No, what? Okay. Uncaught invalid path, unable to read any environment variables, .env. Okay. Is this being run before we load environment variables? Let's see. No. So we load the environment variables, then we require config. And when this is running, it's not crashing. So, composer. I guess what it seems like is that code doesn't actually run until that code doesn't run until you actually hit this API. Okay, so accepted, fatal error, unable to read any environment variables on loader, source loader 133. All right, so okay, cool. You must set a price ID in the environment variable. See the README. That's cool. That's great. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. But it only works if you've actually copied something in. Price is PR. Okay, now if we try it again. Great. Okay, and then if we go to 3,000, we should see this with our real price. Cool. So that's working. So we've got some fail safes for PHP Slim for let's go to Python next. So Python 3-m venv venv source venv bin activate pip install requirements. And then what do we want to do next? Python, oh, let's see. So in server.py, after we've loaded environment variables, let's say check env, and we'll define a new function down here. Def check env. which will say, I can't remember, is it os.getEnv? Yeah, okay. So we'll store the price similarly, price, and then we'll say if price is none or price is equal to price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or price is empty, then how do we want to print you must set a price ID in, or do you have to put the price ID in the .env? Please see the README. I did not use please in any of the other failure statements. How to exit 0 in Python. I feel like every time I do a live stream, I have to like look up a bunch of stuff. That's like how to do X in Y language or whatever. Okay. So I like to have 2 new lines between each function. And so, yeah, this should be good. So now if I try to say like Python server, it should crash. Check env is not defined. That's because I defined it after. So, all right, I'm just going to do it like we did with PHP. We'll just put it inline. Python server. You must set a price ID. Please see the README. Cool. Python server. We should get the same thing. And then if we set a price equal to our price and run the same thing, it actually starts. Localhost 3000. Boom. Cool. Working. Okay. Ah, my favorite, Ruby. All right, so how should we do this for Ruby? I feel like we should do something very similar where when, like right after we load the environment variables, we should check to see if env price, actually I should say price is env price ensure environment if price is equal to price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or price is equal to or price dot nil. We want to puts you must set a price ID in your .env file. Please see the README. And I think it might also be exit 0. Ruby exit 0. Can't remember. Exit true? Is that it? Exit bang. Abort. What does abort do? Oh, interesting. There's okay. You want to skip? Cool. All right. Ruby server. Cool. Nice crash. Ruby server. Fires it right up. Localhost 3000. And we have No price. What's up? Come on. Come on, Sinatra. What? Okay, so it's responding to stuff. Loading. Does Ruby not work? Could not proxy request from there to there. Connection refused. Why? What? Okay. Connection refused. Is there some sort of proxy error? Let's see. I wonder if we have to do something fancy in Sinatra in order for this to work. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, how does this even work? All right, let's dig into this and figure this out. This is cool. I'm glad this is failing because I just kind of assumed all of these work and I never really tested all of them one at a time. From the front end, we have some automated tests that test things out, but I haven't tested I haven't tested them all with the clients, with all the clients, especially not the React clients. I actually don't know very much React, and so I am less confident in how this is actually supposed to work. All right, so I see the proxy here. The proxy is passing stuff to localhost 4242. I'm getting a 500 proxy error. Could not proxy the request /config from localhost 3000. So I feel like there's a server running, right? Like there is some server running. We have this proxy thing, right? When you say start, it runs React scripts start. And yeah, the proxy. Okay. So create React app, proxy, not working with Sinatra. What? Okay. Safer to default to localhost when in development mode. Okay, so if I run it on 0000, is that gonna change this at all? Like if I change this to is that gonna impact anything? So let's see, where is okay, so that's running there. Refresh the page and localhost. Okay, could not proxy from there to there. That totally makes sense. Config is the one that I'm worried about, right? So this config thing cannot proxy request from config to localhost 4240. Let me just curl that, but config. I should get back. Yeah, okay. So I got back the public key and the unit amount and currency. So this is all the config stuff. So that's okay. So 4242 is definitely listening for requests. I have a feeling there's some sort of CORS thing or something that's happening. Proxy, proxy, where's even okay. So the source here, React DOM render. When I say React scripts start, what does React scripts even do? Learning so much about React scripts, GitHub. I just realized, or like I recently saw that there was a brand new Create React app that was released. Um, so um, the kids in the other room just realized that they got a Harry Potter set for being good students. We got them Legos, a Harry Potter Lego set because they have been excellent students, and we had parent teacher conferences, and their teachers were like, "Yeah, they're super good kids," and blah blah blah. So we got them some Harry Potter Legos, and I can hear the box exploding in the other room, and I hear a lot of "No ways!" Holy smokes, Harry Potter, no way. React scripts. Yeah, what in the? Oh, good. Yeah. Um, we got Hedwig. Oh gosh, it's so funny. Okay. Okay, so we're on React Scripts 3.4.1. Okay, so what I need to figure out is proxying requests. So you set the proxy. When you do fetch blah 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 in development, the development server will recognize that it's not a static asset and will proxy the request to the other places of fallback. It only attempts to send requests without text HTML except. Okay. Hey, this is close to what we're seeing. It's not exactly what we're seeing, but change origin true. Okay, so Sinatra disable course. I don't know if this is 100% the issue, but I want to try to just like disable it so that we can see if this is the deal. All right, so let's see. Server Ruby course. Okay, so enable. Can I just say that? Like enable cross origin? Is that not a thing? Apparently, that is not a thing. Aircon refused. This is fun. Thank you for staying with me here through this. So, why are we getting aircon refused? Why would we get these errors? Headless operations. Okay. Okay, this is not cool. Why is this happening? So I'm not even seeing the request come into localhost 4242, right? Let's go back and reset the proxy back to oh, wait a sec. Changes here are not actually doing anything because the thing that is running over here is from a different. Okay, hold on a moment. That was from a different root source. npm install npm start, because I was running the React client that was set up from the Stripe sample install. I think that might be the problem, or part of the problem, maybe. So I'm just going to put them in the same directory and see if that fixes it. All right, BRB. All right, we're back in action here. Okay, so what do we want to try next? Let's see. npm start. This should start up. Yep. Okay, that starts that thing up. And then we come back over here. We refresh this. And all right, so proxy error, could not proxy request see this thing. Excuse me. Connection refused. No connection could be made because the target machine actively refused this. It means it's trying to connect to a service. It's inactive on the foreign host. All right, what is going on here? Experience the same issue I fixed by adding this to the top of my config.ini. Node server instead of npm start. Config looks good. Reason, okay. This is useful if you want to preview your dashboard in another. Okay. Okay, let's try that. So package.json, let's try 127. And just see if that'll work. Right? Like this should work either way. Wait, what? Oh, what? Do I need to Why is that not letting me connect? 127.0.0.1 should be localhost, right? Am I mixing that up? Holy smokes. 127, right? Yeah, 127.0.0.1 should be my loopback address. Maybe it's like disabled on this machine or something. But okay. Okay, I must have some sort of thing disabled. That still totally works. So this should work with localhost. Why isn't it working? I think the next thing that I would probably try is trying to set up this proxy thing manually. It looks like there were instructions on how to manually set up your proxy over here. Create proxy middleware, which says like when you receive a request, create a proxy, change origin true. I wonder if that's like what you need here. Invalid host header, configuring the proxy yourself. Enable cores on your server. Okay, so Sinatra enable cores. I think that, yeah, we haven't given that a good enough swag. All right, so what are all the different ways you can enable cores? And do we have cores enabled? All right, so Sinatra cross origin seems to be like a gem you can use. Okay. So I don't think I did that right for this gem Sinatra cross origin. Is that still how we install this thing? I thought Ruby changed. Yeah. Okay. The recommended format for gems. They used to have like the slash situation, but I don't think that works anymore. All right, so we're adding this cross origin gem and we're going to require it. And then we are going to enable it like that and see if that helps. And we need to restart our client. And run that. Oh, cool. Dang, same error. Config. Could not request config from localhost 3000 to. Oh, I wonder if this doesn't need HTTP or something. Is that what's up? That can't be right, right? There's no way that's right. Cool. Okay, what are we? All right, the nice thing about setting it up manually here is going to be that we can then add some logging statements, like I think maybe app.use. Yeah. You don't need okay, what? You don't need to import this file anywhere. It's automatically registered when you start the dev server. Do we have to? Okay, here we go. So create a file here in source, setup proxy. And in here, we just drop this business in over here. And I'm going to take out this proxy line and change this to 4242 and just see if this works. npm start. Apparently it did not work. Source, setup proxy. Okay, do I need to? Okay, yeah, I do. Cool. All right. Okay. That's not right, is it? Like the target is 3,000. All right, let's do a little bit more reading here. It's only available with 2 and higher. We're on 3. It's not flexible enough. You can get direct access to the Express app and hook up your own proxy middleware. It's recommended you consolidate all your logic here. First install this thing, next create this thing, put that in there. Register proxies as you wish. Here's an example. You don't need this imported anywhere. Okay, what in the world? Why isn't this working? Target create. Okay, so let's go read about this node module. So we were getting the same error, but this time it was just like straight up when attempting to request the root, because my guess is that this, when you set the proxy thing down here, it probably doesn't proxy like every single request, which like I feel like you do slash, then you're breaking that. Like you're trying to run it at the root when really it's running. You only want it to run for assets that are not static assets, which it seems to be a little bit smarter about. Like right now, if I hit localhost 3000 slash curl to localhost 3000 to get back that HTML. If I go to API/config, that should hit 4242/config, which is running right here, right? Like this should be the same as saying curl HTTP localhost 4242/config. I think that's the idea. The fact that's not how it's working is frustrating because error connection refused. HPM error occurred while trying to proxy request from there to there. Yeah. And in my server log, I'm not actually even seeing anything. Oh, wait, no. Okay, yeah. Okay. I like when I do this, I'm not seeing anything in the server log. So it's not even getting, it's not even getting to Sinatra when trying to proxy. What is going on here? Do I need to set bind? I wonder if I need to do this thing. Set bind. Okay, and then I need to come over here and let's comment all this out and then come back over here and add proxy to maybe. I think, okay, let's see if we can curl. Cool. All right, so that at least is working. And then what if we curl 3000? No. Localhost / API / config. No. Is it not running? All right, forgot to start it. Try this again. My tea is empty. Oh boy. What do we got now? What in the world? Proxy. And do I need to like just delete this file? Wow, that was really the issue. Okay, so hey, I'm getting stuff back. Hey, 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 it's working. All right, so wow, okay, that was tough. That was frustrating and tough. Is it? I don't think it's because of this cross origin business. So let's delete all that cross origin stuff. Bundle install. I think it's like binding to 0000. And Hibaria and I have been working on Dockerizing all Stripe samples so that we can test them all. And that was one of the changes that he needed to make. So Ruby server, let's see if this still works. Cool. And refresh the page. Very cool. All right, so that's totally working, which is cool. So what did I actually change here? Okay, so this is tough because I think now we have to go update all servers to bind to 0000 in order to fix this issue just with Ruby, which is super frustrating, and it's kind of a moving target. So did we actually fix the price thing though? Let's see. Cool. Okay, so we've got Go, Java, Node. Wait, Java, we didn't actually fix the price thing. Let's see. Go to Java. And then here in server.java, after we load environment variables, we should check env, which can be just like another public static void function, I suppose. Check env, which takes no arguments. And we want to say something like string price is equal to this thing. If price is equal to price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or price is equal to empty string, or price is equal to null, then system.out.println, you must set a price ID in the .env file. Please see the README. And then how do you exit 0 in Java? System.exit, cool. And do we need to pass it a status? Int status, sure, 0. All right. Give it a whirl. Let's see. So Maven package. And then what do we do after that? Oh, what happened here? Failed to execute this thing? Can't find symbol? Oh, gosh. What is going on here? $135.23. This is my new situation. .env. Where does that come from? Sure. All right. Thank you, Java. Oh, I really dislike Java. Scares me. Intimidating. I don't actually know like a lot of stuff about Java, and so when I try to work with it, anytime stuff goes wrong, it's like really difficult to read all the verbose output. But I don't know. Maybe that's helpful. I guess. Oh, what did this have? Okay. Yep. Oh, cool. Okay. Okay. Cool. Great. You must set a price ID. Great. This is sweet. Okay. And then I go down here and I say price equals this price. And then I run it again. Ah, sweet. Okay. And then if I go to localhost 3000, cross your fingers, boom, we've got a price. Sweet. All right. It looks so good. All right. It's feeling good. Feeling good about Java. All right. So, all right, let's do .NET next. .NET run program. No. Okay. So I forgot how this works. We load the environment variable in startup, I believe. Right. So here we're configuring the stripe options like injectable thing, but I think before this even happens, we can like we can say something like string or maybe var price is equal to environment dot get environment variable price, and if price is equal to price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or price is equal to nothing, or price is equal to null, then we say console.writeLine, you must set a price ID in .env. Please see the README. And then we want to exit, how to exit 0 in C#. Exit. Okay, so we just call big exit. Do we have to require something? Oh, look at that. So nice. Environment.exit 0. Let's see if this works. .NET run program. Fail, please. It's thinking. It's thinking hard. You must set a price ID. Yes. Sweet. All right. Same thing. .NET run program. Hey, look at that. Okay, so I have a hunch this is going to fail because our thing, hey, it totally didn't fail. Sweet. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, just curl localhost 4242 config and 3000 config, and those are giving us back the same stuff. And it seems like I wish .NET Run program would show you like server log output, but it totally doesn't. Whatever, it's fine. Okay. So we changed the package JSON to, what did we do? We pointed it at this. Oh, I don't actually need that anymore. Okay. I think. I don't know. We installed that npm package, which was supposed to be for just a, yeah, okay, cool. All right, kill all my tabs, my learning tabs here. And cool. All right, so we fixed server in server.go. We fixed the README in Java. We fixed, we didn't fix the README in Go, right? To say, yeah. Say this little ditty. All right. All right, let's see what we got here. Package JSON, that change looks cool. That change looks cool. That seems fine. All right, let's go format our Go server. Go format. So that it looks pretty. Pretty is nice in Go. Go folks like their pretty server or their pretty code. Okay, Java looks good. Node looks good. PHP Slim looks good. PHP, I did not fix you. Yeah, let's fix you. Why not? Last one, and then I think we're set to go. So in the public directory in shared, where do we, okay, perfect. So if there's no config, then we fail with this. If, let's say, price is equal to config. I think this is how it works. Let's see, is that in, yep, cool. So if bang price or price is equal to price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we want to echo, you must set a price ID in the config.ini file. Please see the README. And then we exit. Sweet. That should work. Let's go check it out and see, test and see. You know what? I don't think PHP works at all with React because the clients, like the client is baked into PHP. So I'm not even going to test it. We got to test it. We got to test it. Composer start. PHP-S. The requested resource. Okay. Do I have to run it from Composer install? All right, let's start from scratch. Composer install, and then I got to copy the config ini, and then I got to set a bunch of stuff. All right. Okay, secret key, publishable key, webhook secret. Domain price. Then we do this thing again. PHP. Oh, CD into public, and then yeah, okay. All right, so that worked. And then what happens if I delete the price, or let's say price? PHP -s localhost 42. That working? Not working. What happened here? Development server started. Page not found. I feel like I broke something. No, the server is still going. What? Okay. Kill Ruby. Get out of here, Ruby. Oh. I for 0. Okay, so that should not have started. Oh, nope, you should not have started. Okay. So how do we do this? Shared. Okay, I bet shared might not be running every single time or something. So like, what is this index.html? Yeah, config requires shared. Almost there. We are almost there. Okay, so we should have like an error here. Okay, 500 in config, but it's not actually stopping anything from happening. I think that's enough. I think that's enough. If you see the server log, you should see this thing echoed out. I think that's fine. I think we're good. Okay, cool. So client and server spec. All right. Yep, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like sign off actually, and then I'm gonna go through, start every server and run the spec or run the tests for every server so that I can be 100% confident that I didn't break anything. Yeah, we should be good to go from there. So thank you for watching. and hopefully this was helpful. Again, Full Metal Masochist, I am deeply sorry that this was so challenging and just didn't work out of the box. So I will, yeah, we'll be pushing this change, and hopefully that makes sense. And the fact that you also had some of the similar issues for Connect onboarding is disconcerting, but I will mess around with the instructions in there also and see if we can improve that. So, all right, let's see. I think we're going to call that a day. All right, bye friends.